Welcome back, guys. Today I'm in the woods and we're just going on a hike, Royce and me. Got my little sled there and we're just headed off someplace in the woods just to go have some lunch. The snow's coming down. I just want to have a little chat with you guys, cook up a little bit of lunch with you, and we're gonna have a great time. Stay tuned. Beautiful trail. I love being on the trails when the snow is so fresh. See, a couple of skiers have been in here already. So we're just gonna find a nice spot tucked away in the woods. Make a nice lunch. So you guys may notice I have Royce on a leash today. Well, it's coyote mating season, and so he's an intact 11-month-old male dog, so I want to keep him safe. So normally up in this area, he's off leash. He's allowed to do whatever he wants, runs ahead, does whatever, but not safe for the next month or so. And even after that, the coyote babies are on the ground in about 2 months, so we're gonna have to be really careful in the woods. So if you see him on leash, that's why. You know, I was actually thinking about doing a little bit of ice fishing soon, but the ice around here is super sketchy and it's pretty warm today. And we've got some fresh snow on top of already unsteady ice, so not a good idea. So I'm super happy to be out here in the woods today at any rate. Just changing the air in my lungs and relaxing. There's where we're headed. Beautiful. Such a beautiful day out here. Wow. Quiet. Nobody's around. It's a perfect way to isolate today close to home. Well, we found a nice spot here in the woods. Just gonna relax. Just kind of pulled over here off the trail. And I'm just gonna make a little bit of lunch. So today I just brought my Valley Sportsman 20-quart cooler, basically. Filled it full of stuff. It's a great little cooler. I picked it up at Princess Auto as a replacement, actually, for the red one I usually bring to the cabin. That one's kind of narrow and annoying, and I actually like this one a lot. It's sort of like if you want a Yeti but you don't want to pay the prices. It's the Valley Sportsman. It's bear proof. Got a cutting board on top and a ruler, and really well insulated. And as you can see at the bottom there, it's got a drain, which is key. My little red one does not have a drain, so when the ice that you put in there eventually, when it melts, then you can drain it out and your food's not floating around, so that's a good thing. So lots of space in here. So I'm just going to get some stuff ready. We're going to make a little lunch and have a little chat on the trail. So today I am making an omelet. Got all my ingredients here. Hey, Royce, want an egg? Here. Ooh. I'm gonna make an omelet. I got my ingredients kind of prepared. It's a great little thing for day trips. Oh, it's the abominable snowman. Aw, good boy. And I brought all my omelet ingredients. I chopped them up and put in this glass jar so I can put them in when we're ready. So I just got my little stove here, and we're gonna cook this up. It's always good cooking outdoors. It's not too bad today. It's -5. It's my little Stanley Cup set. You guys will recognize that. Just as it's sort of cooking up, I'm going to add some of the ingredients here. So got a little bit of pepperettes, a little bit of blue cheese. Also have a little bit of regular mozzarella as well. Do that. Whoa, here we go. Got lots of stuff with me today. And some red pepper. Let it cook a little bit more, and then I'm going to flip it over. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look good, guys? All right, let's have some lunch. Got some hot green tea as well. Oh yeah. Another great thing about these coolers is you can sit on them, and they're a decent height and really comfortable. You can just bring like a little cushion and you're good to go. So there you go. There's my omelet. So the reason why I'm just hanging out close to home in the woods is that here in Ontario, Canada, right now we're in the midst of a month-long lockdown stay-at-home order. So I've got to stay close to home and close to woods near me. Whoa. Is that ever good? I like the pepperettes and the blue cheese. It goes really well together. So what I want to talk to you guys today about, of course, is one of the sort of rules that they've, well, I guess I don't know if it's like a rule, hard, fast rule, but they're basically suggesting that we don't travel to our seasonal properties or cottages or camps or cabins here in Ontario. And I want to, have a little bit of discussion about that and see what you guys thought about that, like the pros and the cons of it. Obviously, we're really all worried about the virus spreading across the world, and we want to kind of tramp it down a bit. It's kind of rising here in Ontario, and that's why they're pretty worried about it. And the feeling is that if there's less mobility, obviously, then the virus will kind of get less and less if there's less exposures. But where does that leave folks that have, maybe a seasonal cabin that's really isolated, and they can travel, to the cabin, like in their isolated car, to their isolated cabin and isolate. So that would be the situation that we would be in. Now, certainly we are abiding by the rules and staying really close to home, hence why I'm out here and not at the cabin doing this. But, let's talk about some of the pros, of say going to a cabin and maybe staying off grid during the pandemic. Maybe some of you folks are doing that. I think there are tremendous benefits to, the off-grid life during something like this. Of course, if you're an off-gridder or someone that likes being outdoors, you definitely have a lot of life skills. And it's a time, if you were to isolate at your cabin, to sort of practice those some more. And I also think it's really good for the mental health situation. I know lockdown has been just very, very difficult on some people, a lot of people. And, there's nothing like bush therapy, nature therapy, cabin therapy for improving one's mood and giving one, hope for the future. So I see that's a benefit of, living in a cabin or going to your cabin during the pandemic. You can get outdoors, change the air in your lungs, exercise, keep fit, which is important. So, certainly to stay healthy, you want to keep fit and, keep your immune system healthy. If you're exhausted and stressed out all the time, locked down maybe in your house in the city, that's going to bring your immune system down. And that's not good. The virus could take you down a little further than it would if you weren't so stressed out. But now, on the other hand, what if you were to get sick, at your cabin or camp and it's sort of a more remote area and now people are airlifting you out of there or something like that if you're in really, really tough shape? Because, not everywhere has, a very good distance from, a hospital. So ambulances may not get you there in time. So people get airlifted if it's really, really bad. So that's something to consider too. And of course I could... There's big benefits to sort of being off grid too. It's like you don't watch the news, you don't you get stressed with that. I find if I tune into the news more than once a day, I'm getting too stressed out with it. So being off grid, you're kind of away from that stuff. So that's another benefit of just having cabin time or camp time or whatnot. That's really good. Of course, I could see too if you had an off grid place you could go to. Say if you were, he's just trying to eat my omelet. No. Go sit down. Good boy. He's begging off camera. I could see that if you have an off-grid place you could go to or cottage or cabin, maybe if you were homeschooling your kids, the forest would be a great place to teach them. So I think that would be a benefit to the family to do something like that. But of course, when we look at the cons, there's travel involved. And, even if you can, say, get to your cabin or cottage or property or whatever with, one tank of gas, you're not stopping. There's still that risk. What if your car breaks down? And there's a possibility that, you may end up needing the services of someone else and get exposure to the virus, or maybe you're incubating it and you pass it on to the tow truck driver that goes to get your vehicle. So that's obviously another concern. Some folks, and I understand in sort of more remote communities where people's cabins are located, maybe there's a little corner store or whatnot along the way and you stop and you go get your your groceries or your toilet paper or whatever. And I know early on in the pandemic, those stores got sold out completely of items. So people that were actually living in that region, well, they were out of luck, because out-of-towners were coming in and cleaning out the grocery store, the paper towel and toilet paper and, vital groceries for the community. So I think that's a huge problem too. So I think people that are traveling need to really be mindful of that. Maybe shop in your own home community, if there's an essential reason why you have to get to your property, so you don't expose everybody else. Sort of like a selfish thing, I guess, to want to go to the cabin and, isolate and, just sort of serve myself versus my community. So, I mean, that's why I've decided not to go right now. So lots of things to think about there, eh? Like, I really miss the cabin. I can't wait to get back. And I'm hoping, after the lockdown that we're allowed to do that in a safe fashion. But I'm not really sure, I see the benefits, of going to a cabin, like I mentioned earlier, but I also see there can be some downfalls as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on, spending time off grid during the pandemic, going to cottages, going to cabins, being outdoors, or are we best served to be inside? I'd really like to see the discussion down below, and please be kind down below in the comments. I don't want to see people arguing or anything like that, but just let me know what you think down below, and we'll see where this goes. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me for a little quick little hike here in the woods with Royce and a little lunch and a chat. Hope you guys have a great week as always. Take care.